This is the Unnamed Sports Show's NBA recap, a presentation of the Sports Talkline Network. I am, of course, your host, Joshua Giverth, and tonight, let's get you caught up with the 39-19 Brooklyn Nets on the road against the 24-34 Toronto Raptors. Brooklyn is fighting with the Philadelphia 76ers for top spot in the East, while the Raptors are just fighting to get into the play-in tournament. The Nets are coming off a 134-129 win Tuesday night against the New Orleans Pelicans, and they will be without Kevin Durant and James Harden. Toronto are winners of their last three after a 112-106 victory against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kyle Lowry will slot back in tonight for the lineup as the team looks to get healthy for a late push. Let's check out the starting lineups and get into first quarter action. Joe Harris would come out with a hot hand for the Nets and give them an early 11-4 lead with this three. Toronto would start cold from beyond the arc, so they would switch things up and work it inside. Pascal Siakam was able to find Khem Birch for the easy flush. The Raptors were trading twos for threes, however, as Harris would hit another three, just his fourth already in the game, and the lead was 9. It was a fast forward to under 5 minutes left in the quarter with the Nets up 19-11 before Toronto would start making some shots. Fred VanVleet would find OG Anunoby for an open three. OG would be left wide open once again and cut the lead just to 4 points before Kyrie Irving took over to end the quarter. He would hit a deep three with 2.5 left before hitting one more, and the first quarter would end with Brooklyn up 36-23. Big man DeAndre Jordan would slam off the second quarter in a big way and stare down the ref for an earlier non-call. We will get into the refs a bit later. So the Raptors bench was getting outplayed heavily until Freddie Gillespie would get an offensive rebound and find Yuta Watanabe for the slam. The Nets would maintain their double-digit lead as hard as Kyle Lowry was trying to cut into it. A wonderfully designed play by Coach Nick Nurse, and Lowry found a curling OG off a screen. He would find Canadian Chris Boucher down low for the dunk. Landry Shamet would respond for Brooklyn with, you guessed it, a three from Kyrie Irving halfway through the quarter. Every time the Raptors would strike, the Nets had a response. OG Anunoby would get the bucket and one before Blake Griffin took over in the post with his gorgeous spin move and one for his own. Toronto would amp things up on the defensive end, and it would lead to easy buckets. Fred VanVleet would get the home team roll with 3:38 to go to spark a run. With the defense stepping up, the Raptors would see Siakam hit a three. And then they would see Fred VanVleet hit a three. And of course, not to be outdone, Kyle Lowry wanted in on some of the action, and they would end the quarter down just 2, 58-56. Like the Nets did to start the second quarter, the Raptors would get a big dunk early from OG Anunoby. Oh, wait. Don't show that one. The Raptors would take a lead thanks to a Kyle Lowry three before, show this OG Anunoby dunk. The Raptors would go up 68-62 before Kyrie Irving would hit a jumper and silence the crowd noise. The third quarter was all Toronto with 7:52. Fred VanVleet would hit a deep three, and the lead was up to 9. Shamet would stop the bleeding for like 10 seconds before Freddie would hit one more three. Whatever the Nets had shooting threes in the first half, Toronto picked up on, and OG Anunoby would bring the lead to 82-70. Looked like Toronto would have run away with things. Pascal Siakam had been shooting very cold of late from beyond the arc, just 3 of his last 23 attempts before this game. With everyone else hitting, though, hey, why not? And he would hit his second of the night before hitting a layup and pushing the lead up to 15. OG was having a great game on both ends of the floor as he would come up with a big block that would lead to a Fred VanVleet three. Brooklyn would show some fight with their second unit, and thanks to a Jordan alley-oop and then a Cabarrot three, It was just an 11-point game as we went into the fourth quarter. Bruce Brown would pull back some of the deficit with a three in the Nets' opening possession. The Raptors' Chris Boucher would get tangled up shortly after and have to leave the game with a knee sprain. Looking to hear more from him soon. With Pascal Siakam starting to make some shots, the Nets had to respect him, and he was able to blow by Jordan after getting the switch. The theme for the Raptors' success so far was defense, and with 8:15 to go, Freddie Gillespie would get his fifth block of the evening, something head coach Nick Nurse said we haven't seen since the Serge Ibaka days. The Raptors would go back up double digits thanks to a Malachi Flynn three. With 4:49 to go, it looked like Siakam would put it out of reach with his 27th points of the game. The score was 106-93, and Brooklyn did play last night. Brooklyn also did have Kyrie Irving. He would hit a floater with 3:30 to go and start to chip away into things. Both teams were in the bonus, so the fourth slowed right down, and Kyrie was able to cut the lead to only 5 with free throws. That was as close as they would come, as Kem Birch would get a late slam dunk before sealing things for the Raptors with a three to make it 114-103, and that's how things would end. The depleted Nets were led by 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists from Kyrie Irving, but the 21 off the bench from Bruce Brown just wasn't enough. Despite starting off hot, they would end shooting just 39.6% from the field. The Nets will take on the Boston Celtics on Friday night. The Philadelphia 76ers also lost tonight to the Phoenix Suns 116-113, so the Nets remain just a game back. But really, Nets fans, are you worried about the regular season? The Raptors win their fourth straight thanks to 4 starters in double digits and Pascal Siakam leading the way with 27 points and 9 rebounds and 6 assists. OG Anunoby had a big night with 25 points, and Fred and Kyle added 17 and 14 points respectively. Toronto still remains a half game back of the Washington Wizards, and they will be in for a tough game versus the strong New York Knicks on Saturday. If you want to get caught up with the full game highlights, we have those for you here on the channel. So make sure to also like the video down at the bottom, comment what you thought of tonight's game, and let me know, Nets and Raptors fans. So I have been your host, Joshua Griffith, and until next time.